It's to make us better. It's to prosper us. It's to make us far greater than we have been. See, it's for us to bear much more fruit in his name and his behalf, that he gets all the glory. See, some of our fruit that we bear is for selfishness, self-righteousness. A lot of fruit we bear is arrogance and pride. The Bible says you already got your reward, man, when it's for yourself. I teach it on Thursday nights in discipleship training. You know, when you get pride and arrogance together, you know what they produce? Somebody said the other night, a mess. But you're right. When pride and arrogance get together, pride and arrogance, we produce vanity. We do and say things to get vain glory, to get folk to recognize and acknowledge our accomplishments. I just thought I'd stop by and let you know today, brothers and sisters, what's going to happen when your vanity runs out? What's going to happen when your sight begins to go bad? What's going to happen when you get a few more aches and pains and you can't move and walk and run like you used to? What's going to happen then? What you going to think about when your hair begins to fade and fall out on you? Well, what's going to happen again when you gain a little bit more in places and you didn't think you could gain weight in? What's going to happen in place? But what's going to happen to you when your vanity runs out and all that you had up north? Come here, preacher. Begins to go south. The garments don't fit like they used to. You start going, what's wrong with these pants? What's wrong with this dress? It fit right just a month ago. Vanity begins to go bad on what you got left. So that's what he's saying here, is that my grace will keep you. Don't worry. Let me drive this thing home and we're done. See, this was Paul's situation where he was buffeted in the side. What about you and I today? The economy that we're facing, uncertainty. What about those things? What about the loss of jobs? Those things, uncertainty. What about our bank accounts? It's kind of padded right now, but after a while, when you ain't got no job and nothing's coming in, but you're still paying things to go out, money constantly going, what's going to happen when your boss man or your employer bring in somebody that you need to train that's not in your group, and you know that you're training them to take your job? What's going to happen? Did you not know that when he uses grace and what grace entails? Let me drop this in you real quick and we're done. What grace entails, brothers and sisters, so that you'll always remember, is this. Grace entails him taking full liability in your behalf. Other words, when people start talking to you after you've lost your job, how long do you think you're going to be employed? How long are you going to be without a job? I don't know. Well, what do you know? I know that I'm in his hands because he said his grace is sufficient. He's taking full liability in my behalf. That means I got nothing to worry myself about. That means I have no concerns because his grace is sufficient. And guess what? Not only is it sufficient enough for me, it's sufficient enough for my entire family. Because he says in him, there is no famine, there is no lack, verse 10 states one thing that Paul makes a profound statement is this. He says, then, after realizing after what God said, you know, that thing had to drop into Paul's spirit, just like it had to be dropped into your spirit, that his grace is sufficient, not was, but still yet is, and will continue to be sufficient. Is this, verse 10 declares that therefore I take what? That sounds crazy. That means that if I'm without a job, I ain't got no money in my account, bills are still coming, rent and mortgage is still due, still gotta buy food. He said my grace is sufficient. Paul said I take pleasure. Look at Paul's situation. He says that the enemy of God, the angel of light, sent a person in the church to buffet me. And they're talking about me, and they're saying this and that about me, and they're telling people untruths, and they're spreading false doctrine, and they're counter-teaching what I'm proclaiming, that is the gospel and good news in the church at Corinth. So Lord, take this thing away. He says, no, Paul. He said, my grace is sufficient. I let them talk. That's a thorn in your flesh that I allow to be there because I need to keep you close. Because see, if I don't allow you to go through some heartaches, if I don't allow you to experience some pain, if I don't allow you to encounter some hardships, if I don't allow you to endure some challenges, you won't know what true joy is. You won't know